This is the pinnacle of life, where a man buys a 120-year-old castle in the wilderness. After 2.5 years of renovation and renovation, revitalize the abandoned castle with tens of thousands of bottles, and give it to his fiancée and girlfriend. Xiaoni discovered an abandoned castle while running outdoors at night. She happened to be preparing a wedding house for her wedding, so he casually bought it with the intention of allowing his girlfriend to experience the life of a princess. I learned from the owner that this was destroyed in a big fire 40 years ago. Previously, it was a property owned by a prestigious luxury family. Xiaoni thought that the castle only looked old on the outside. Based on the damaged structure, it appears that it has been shelled before. It seems that the difficulty of renovation is beyond imagination. There is a 10-meter tall ancient tree in the living room alone. I arrived at the castle early the next morning to start cleaning. First, use a small oil tool to cut down the trees at the entrance. Then clean up the shrubs on the ground. I didn't expect to find a piece that leads underground. Xiaoni plans to explore after cleaning up. Perhaps there is still a treasure hidden underground. Then cut all the moss on the stairs, and blow away the dirt growing on the rock surface with blasts of air. After 3 days of thorough cleaning, the entire entrance is clean and tidy, with plenty of extra space available for use. So with a curious heart, he opened the door to the basement. The huge space strip was once used as an air raid shelter. Xiaoni plans to transform it into a natural wine cellar in the future. After completing the peripheral cleaning, we need to start entering the interior. We plan to hire professional workers to cut the old tree in the living room. After all, once an accident occurs while climbing alone, no one will know. Master Chen divided the ancient tree over 10 meters high into sections, turn it into pieces of wood and throw them on the ground. Although it's a bit unfair to Tree Brother, but the thought of having already spent a lot of money makes one have to be ruthless. Not long after, the interior was also clean and tidy. As the owner of the castle for a week, Xiaoni has not yet given him his life. Immediately write on the stone brick at the entrance that Xiaoni is here for a visit. Some of the corridors inside have accumulated several centimeters of thick dust. Continuously wiping with a brush revealed the patterns of the stone bricks from 100 years ago. It seems to be well preserved and can be preserved. Next, we need to demolish the ancient doors and windows. After the baptism of wind and frost, it is already fragile and unbearable. Just a gentle touch can instantly shatter the structure. In order to fix it, I went straight to Huma's studio. I plan to restore it 1-to-1, based on the original size, not changing its overall structural framework. During the window and door upgrade phase, Xiaoni cannot be lazy either. Hurry up and collect some firewood during this time, in order to live in the castle and spend the winter. At the same time, it can also reserve some resources for renovation. Although Xiaoni only bought this castle, but according to regulations, all the forest resources around her also belong to her. So he called Froglady to transplant the best pine tree in the entire forest to the doorstep. There is already a lot of wood piled up at the doorstep of our house. At the same time, a smooth road was also cleared to facilitate the passage of vehicles. The first year of the restoration of Xiaoni Castle is coming to an end. She couldn't help but sigh that renovating the park was harder than she had imagined. Next, he will rebuild the structural framework for the castle. As Xiaoni cleans the space in front of the door, it's already from spring to winter. Xiaoni used the previously collected firewood to start a fire. After all, don't be so far away from the fire on such a cold day, to ensure work and survival safety. After cutting down several century-old trees, just leave a road leading to the castle. But low temperatures and ice and snow cause a sharp decline in efficiency. Little Nai, whose nose is covered in cold, plans to wait until spring. Continue renovation after the weather warms up. In the new year, Xiaoni handed over 2 good friends to help together. Due to the empty house, I decided to turn the leftover wood from last year into furniture first. First, we need to clean up the garbage scattered throughout the castle. The floor tiles have very retro and exquisite patterns. The first aristocratic landlord left behind. As the sand, gravel, and soil are transported out of the truck, they are loaded onto the truck. Also, excavated a few scattered antique ceramic tiles. Find local experts to assess how much it's worth, and the ground at the entrance hall gradually became clearer. This square, continuous pattern, deeply loved by local nobles and wealthy people. A well-preserved antique floor. Entering the interior is even more extraordinary. To avoid unnecessary trouble, supporting the entire castle, empty and spacious, many villas currently have super high-rise buildings. So I plan to first make some furniture. Coincidentally, many thousand-year-old trees were cut down earlier. After simple cutting and processing, make it into a pure solid wood table. If anyone says it's not real wood, place 2 wooden boards on the wooden pier of the table. The bragging place with the castle restore's fireplace. You can directly move it into the castle. After taking a short break, we started cleaning the ground. We have already established a deep cooperation with the floor tiles. If it weren't for the intervention of modern ultra-high pressure water guns, I believe these tiles will forever be intimate with dust. After repeated rinsing, ceramic tiles are even clean enough to be used as mirrors. Give 2 more pillars some stimulation as well. The steps in front of the house cannot be left empty. This ultra-high pressure water gun can be considered as having no vegetation wherever it goes. The entire castle has become much cleaner. Just as I was about to come out to rest, I noticed 2 little boys playing here. Just when Shawnee was confused, the 3 of them have agreed on the successful restoration of the castle. We will visit this mysterious castle together. After some time of cleaning and repairing the interior of the castle, we can officially enter the renovation phase. I saw Shawnee holding a bundle of wood and come into the front door, make a mark while gesturing on the stairs, then set up a door frame at the left entrance of the side door. A cross frame serves as the foundation for the door. Then cover the frame with ultra-thin wood chips and fix it with screws. This can not only block people's path, it can also block many other things. And on the right side, the construction of the door was also completed in the same way as a cat and a tiger. Just when everyone was wondering how to enter, with a gentle push, Shawnee arrived inside the castle. But suddenly I heard strange noises underground. Does the castle really have the legendary Apu? Shawnee bravely walked into the basement to investigate. It turned out that the wall of the cellar was directly shattered when it was struck from above. The detached wall keeps falling onto the floor tiles, making a sound. Xiao Nisuo decided to manually break these fragile wall panels directly. This comfortable feeling made him very tight, entering the household with a tool resembling a diamond pickaxe. The original brick structure of its castle is also revealed. It seems that the craftsmen who built it 120 years ago were all real. In addition, a hidden door was discovered deep inside. I plan to explore it thoroughly in the future. However, a large amount of construction waste still needs to be transported out of the cellar. For this reason, a wooden board was specially placed on steps as a riding tool. This small tire unicycle almost couldn't hold up. On the other side, lumberjack Lao Chen is also repairing the tree lattice. These tall trees not only affect lighting and scenery, it also makes it difficult for grass and shrubs on the ground to grow. And the large amount of firewood obtained at the same time can be used as a building resource, which can be said to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Shawnee accelerates the pace to transform the trio. Decided to first use the cellar as a temporary residence. So I drove 10 kilometers to the market, purchased electric lights, wires, and storage equipment. After laying the wires and lights, connect them to a portable power bank. You can have good lighting and work day and night here. Then set up a light around each corner. Just a slight strange smell in the castle under the night sky. Someone asked how to trust the power supply. Of course, it is collected during the day using solar panels. Several panels placed on the balcony to experience sunbathing. In order to improve energy efficiency, a wooden frame was specially made. After simple fixation, the panel can still be maximized. It can obtain a large amount of energy and store it in the power supply for future use. He was cleaning up the garbage in the cellar and found that there was a whole new world inside. There is still a lot of untapped space in all directions. But first, the room with installed lights needs to be painted. He personally stirred the fresh lime he had just bought. Pushing the car, we arrived at the cellar and started working. Due to the numerous pits on the stone bricks, simply fill the depression with cement to obtain a smooth wall. After simple friction with sponge sandpaper. Isn't this the most popular style of clear cement nowadays? It retains the taste of a century-old retro, while incorporating modern simplicity. The small mud with very satisfactory results, designed and constructed the entire corner according to this design. And the brick arches between different chambers are planned to be knocked down and replaced with wood. Restore the original size with wooden boards in a 1-to-1 ratio. Coincidentally stuck in the middle of the arch of the door and reinforced with bricks. The gaps and joints are just filled with the previous cement. Arriving at the large living room, the rest of the companions have already cleaned up. The entire castle has been completely renovated and furnished. 2 brothers moving steel bars and wood together. Pass it on to the workers on the scaffold to lay the 2nd floor ground frame. Afterwards, you only need to lay the floor to complete the construction of the 2nd floor. And everyone agrees that the tiles on the ground are too monotonous. Intend to relay the middle section, but these antiques can be collected and reused, although many of them were cut off during the process. But there is more than enough space to build a room. Just a simple rinse can make it look brand new. Stacking antique tiles aside, many rotten wood boards also need to be removed together. and the wall has also fallen off significantly. In order to facilitate the renovation, it is necessary to smash it all into pieces. Keep the bricks and plan to paint new wall panels later. Xiaoni looked at the castle in front of her. The difficulty of its transformation far exceeds my imagination. However, the progress is already halfway through. As long as you persist and believe, it won't be long. Xiaoni can bring a family to live in the castle.